Tonight on the Night Team, dangerously cold temperatures across Kentuckiana have moved JCPS students and staff online. An NTI day already planned for Monday. The weather has also driven one Kentucky ministry to action, filling a gymnasium with people who need an escape from the elements.
We got everybody loaded up with some warming supplies and some clothing today.
A warm place to stay and a warm meal. Plus, 2 people are displaced after a fire at a complex in the Highlands. And later, a new leader for Louisville's police-led program to stop gang violence.
A number of our groups are either exclusive or dominated by juveniles.
What crime is trending down in the city and what work still needs to be done. Right now on the WHAS11 Night Team. Well, tonight is a dangerously cold one across Kentuckiana. We are taking a live look at Metro Louisville, where temperatures are dropping to single digits tonight. We're sitting at about 8 degrees right now, and those low temperatures are expected also in the morning, so JCPS has moved tomorrow online to an NTI day for students and staff. WHAS 11's Doug Proffitt captured these photos of a broken sprinkler system in East Jefferson County today, which caused a geyser of ice. Thankfully, he did contact the Anchorage Fire Department, and they've since tracked down the owner. Thanks for joining us here on your cold night. Here on the Night Team, I'm Alex Dieterwer, and we want to get you right to meteorologist Austin Evans. So, Austin, we know JCPS is NTI today, or tomorrow, excuse me, in about just an hour. Probably a smart move, seeing how cold these temperatures are getting.
It definitely is. Kids walking to the bus, walking to school, waiting at bus stops. It's a really easy way for them to get frostbite, especially at these temperatures. So that absolutely was the correct move. Now, obviously, it's dangerously cold. We're still under weather impact alert right now. I know most of the day is over, but we're still under it. And to be honest, you should just, in your mind, extend it into Monday morning, even if technically it's not that on the graphic. But that is what's next, a very cold Monday morning. We have some rain chances on the way, though. That is new. Here is that temperature change over the past 24 hours. Again, we're at a 11-degree deficit here in Louisville. And here's a real quick check of the metro temperatures in the single digits and a check of Kentuckiana's temperatures. A few places already below zero.
All right, thank you, Austin. Ministries in the southwestern part of the metro opened their buildings as a warm place for people today. One tells us that this is an area of the metro where there's not many services for the unhoused community, and it's difficult for them to get the services provided. The WHAS 11 Night Team's Clarice Shaley brings us through the day where these ministries worked to give them items to keep them warm during the frigid temperatures.
Unhoused people in need this season
It allows people to come off the street.
gather in Southeast Christian Church's gymnasium right off Dixie Highway.
God's blessed us, and I'm so grateful.
Just to let people feel like they matter and like we care about them.
Brought together amid Louisville's frigid temperatures outside. At some points, temperatures reached the single digits.
If it wasn't for this ministry, I probably wouldn't have made it, man.
This morning, Exodus Family Ministries opened their doors.
Typically, we don't operate on Sunday mornings, but this morning we sent 3 vans out and picked people up and brought them here.
Shane Schlater, the ministry's director, keeps care at the core. He says about 25 people had breakfast, a warm shower, and cleaned their clothes.
We had one gentleman today that more than likely has frostbite in his foot.
Schlater takes a deep breath.
Tonight we will be transporting a couple people to the hospital.
Knowing the ministry is trusted.
People have to be vulnerable enough to trust that you have their best interest at heart.
Exodus transports people to Southeast Christian's gym, where they continue to fellowship and find comfort.
Whether it was in the blistering heat or the freezing cold, they always had a space for me that I felt safe at, you know?
Their hearts are blessed, and their food served hot.
It's really not about the meal to me. It's about making family, being happy with the family.
People left with packed backpacks full of fresh items to keep them warm, and sent outside with wishes of a safe night, with warmer ones predicted for this week. Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
The ministries provided a warm shelter for people for about 12 hours out of the day. Well, 2 people have been displaced after a fire broke out in a Highlands complex today. Louisville Fire says just before 3 this afternoon, firefighters responded to a fire at a 3-story building off Lauderdale Road where they found smoke pouring out from the building. LFD says 1 person had already gotten out of the building safely when the firefighters arrived. It took crews an hour and a half to put out the fire. No injuries were reported, and the Red Cross is helping the 2 displaced residents. An investigator with Louisville's Office of the Inspector General has been arrested for a shooting in the Heritage Creek neighborhood. LMPD took 45-year-old Tracy Carter into custody for allegedly shooting her boyfriend in the arm Friday night. According to Carter's arrest citation, she and the victim had gotten into an argument, and as he was leaving in his car, Carter filed at the windshield, shooting the victim when he got out. His injuries were not life-threatening. Carter first worked for the Kentucky Department of Corrections as a parole officer before becoming an investigator for the OIG. She's been charged with second-degree assault and is due to be arraigned on Monday.
He and his roommates built some homemade furniture barricades and spent the night barricaded inside as we all anxiously awaited for information, praying for safety, and looking for what today might bring.
Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg speaking on his son's experience at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island during a shooting that left 2 dead and 9 injured. Greenberg's son, Ben, is a junior at Brown. Mayor Greenberg says Ben had just gotten back to his dorm when the shooting began not far from his housing unit. Ben and his roommates stayed inside until the shooting ended. None of them were physically injured. Now, new video shows students hiding inside classrooms, sheltering under desks as loudspeakers tell them to stay put. Brown University and the surrounding area was locked down for hours as students were carefully evacuated. The school did later cancel all remaining classes and finals for the semester. Now, a new press conference just is underway right now in Providence, Rhode Island, and law enforcement officials did just say, breaking news here, that a person of interest has been released from their custody. We are continuing to gather information for you, so stay with us as we bring you the latest. Beer Nose Tap House on Taylorsville Road held a holiday food drive tonight, benefiting the Sister Visitor Food Pantry in the West End and the Father Jack Jones Pantry in Old Louisville. It was a night full of pizza, holiday cheer, and live music from the band R&R 3.
If by providing these food pantries, at least taking care of the food, then people can make those other choices and put their money towards rent, LG&E, or even medicines. So that's what we're kind of doing, is kind of help them alleviate the load so that maybe they can use their money in other places that they have.
People who brought donations were given discounts on their pizza. Beer Nose hopes their fundraiser helps the community they serve. A 72-year-old Catholic parish in the Park Duval neighborhood celebrated their last Mass this morning as parishioners gathered for one last celebration of their Mass at the Immaculate Heart of Mary Church before consolidating with St. Martin de Porres on West Broadway. Immaculate Heart of Mary had its first Mass in November of 1953 in an old house on a then Southwick Avenue. Parishioners are certain their faith does not end with this closure.
We are the church. Wherever we go, we will be of one. Continue to love one another, continue to pray, continue to ask God to guide your steps, and just know that today is just not the last day of your faith. Keep going and keep growing in God.
There have been other notable closures of Catholic parishes in West Louisville this year. There's no plan for the Immaculate Heart of Mary property at this time.